It's all I'm not checking anybody again.
Pastor Blessing.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Yes, yes, always a pleasure.
You know, fresh up. See your head. Wow. You're not even feeling this COVID-19 thing. But something
I can't feel it.
Actually bothering me now, because Pastor, I've been going around looking for houses. You know, I want to move, you know, and pack to a better place, but I seem to see many houses around, but the problem is that they are too expensive. And yet all these houses are there and nobody is living in there, only lizards, rats and all these things, but they can't bring the price down so that, you know, a layman can afford it. So what is really going on? Why are there so many houses and people are not living in there? And yet people are looking for houses to occupy.
From the time of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God has been very difficult, and it's only the violent that take it by force. There's absolutely no time in the world till Jesus comes that you will have anything easy. People will amass wealth, they will waste the wealth, and they will enjoy wasting it. They don't care about you. You should have a mentality that nobody cares about you. By God's grace, I am in a position that I speak to a lot of people per day, both young and old and all the rest, because of the job I do. Let me tell you, as soon as I speak to any person and he says Nigeria, as soon as any person says Nigeria is something that is affecting him, I know this one is not ready to make anything out of his life. So I have to start talking to him. Do not put responsibility of your success or your failure or anything on anybody. It's on you. Don't expect anything from anybody. It's on you. The same person that has houses that you are talking about, that is not releasing it for people in cheap amounts, worked hard for it. Nobody, if he had the mentality of somebody that needs to give me a beautiful house for a small fee, he wouldn't have been that successful. You see, it's that pressure that makes you grind out to bring success out of something. And I'm going to even say to you, it's easy to point accusing fingers to people, but have you forgotten, you point one, the whole 4 remaining points back to you. How many clothes do you have? Can you count?
Uncountable.
Uncountable. I like the sound of that. How many do you wear in a year, for example? Do you know there are some of your clothes you have not worn for 2-3 years?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. You have not seen anything bad in that. There are countless people on the street that do not even have one shirt. They are shirtless, or they are wearing tatters. They are wearing torn clothes. How come you have not packed those clothes that you are not wearing or that you have not worn for a while? Go and give it to them. It's not a point. It's the reality, because the poor person will never finish in Nigeria in the world. When Jesus himself was on earth, people were hungry. Have you forgotten he had to feed them with fishes and loaves of bread? And after he fed them, did he feed them the next day? Okay, people that couldn't afford food and were staying with him in a crusade, what do you think he will do the next day? Did Jesus bother about that? That's not his job. You are not going to save the world. His job when Jesus came was to come and save you from the death of sin that the devil had put in you. That was what he focused on. It's not to come and give you food or anything. Also, the other people you are talking there are plenty of houses there. You don't know what they are doing with it.
Money, but
you understand what I'm saying? You don't know what you're doing with it. Is their headache? Is their money? You see, this ownership thing that just grinds us is what will not help us with life generally. Let me put it this way. You have an uncle who is rich. It's you that you'll be calculating, that person works in NNPC. And his salary is like 3.7 million. Why can't he just give all of us in our house 200 if we still have 1 million after us? If you think like that, you are not ready to be in the league of the rich and the wealthy and the successful. The day you look at yourself and look at everybody and say, make everybody get out, it's now time for me to come out and do something. The day you say that and you mean it, that's when you become rich. Have you said that to yourself before?
Yeah, I've said that to myself. And
that's the first process. I keep saying it. A beautiful house is good. If they like, let them rent it 12 million. Okay, let's put this our estate, for example. Everybody living in this estate now, like equivalent, how much do they pay? Maybe on the average, a person pays $1 million, for example. Like, how many families do you think just this our street like this? How many people do you think lives here? Count. The number of houses here, like maybe 20 here, 20 here. That's 40 houses. Are they not paying the rent?
Yeah.
Are they living in heaven?
No.
Are they not living in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Are they not affording it?
Yeah.
The reason they are affording it because they don't think it's expensive. As soon as they say the house is beautiful but it's expensive, it becomes expensive for you. If you say, okay, this is $1 million, I also want to pay. What that does to you is, it makes you realize that, look, I need $1 million, how do I get it? So you don't go ahead sleeping, you don't go ahead looking for woman, you don't go ahead drinking, that's not your duty. Your duty is to stand up and look for valid, nice options to give you money. That's when you know that this job you are doing, you can do it times 3. Some of us here like this, when we have extra customers, we start complaining, I'm tired. Why on earth will you be tired? You know, when you have 2-3 customers, the more it multiplies your fund. If maybe you are making 100,000 and then you have an extra customer that gives you another 50-60,000, that's 160. It's getting you closer to your dream. See, you need to labor before you get celebrated. Every rich man labored. Some of us think I am laboring day in, day out. Nobody sees it until when you are now, boom, everybody now says, yeah, God blessed him. God blessed everybody. The same rain that falls on the poor is what falls on the rich. The same 24 hours time is what everybody has. So to answer your question, don't bother about if every house in Abuja is open and nobody's living there, even if they are too expensive. The ones that are expensive, people are still living there and they are paying. Moreover, I am not even thinking of a house is expensive to rent. I also want to, do you know the feeling like you have built 100 million house somewhere and you are not even going there? And then you are going on vacation, you are sending 5 million for them to renovate. People are living good. It's not a sin. I always say it for people that criticize pastors and big people. I say, you are not big, but the little you have, how far have you shared it? So that's the answer. Let's just cut the chase. Let's focus on ourselves and believe that nothing is expensive. Everything is affordable, but you have to grind it out. And that will help you. Don't put your trust in. The Bible even said it. Don't trust in human beings. Don't trust in human beings. Trust God. And as soon as you can trust God, you can trust yourself. It will help you out. You will just discover that before you know it, you have bought. All those houses are open. If you say you want to buy them, they will sell them. I hope you know. Okay. So work on making money, not... Right.
So in essence, you're telling me to think like a rich man and act like one. And see everything that is achievable.
See, there is no rich man that is born. Everybody is born the same way. What makes you rich is what you think and maybe who you move with and what you believe in. It's your belief system. If you believe, I asked one person, I said, what's the highest thing you have ever seen yourself do? He said, maybe he bought a car. I almost collapsed. And some of us are thinking, even me, I'm thinking I could be someone who the president of the United States will call for help. I'm that big in the spirit. So don't worry, like they always say, if you are aiming for the sun, if you fall, where do you fall to?
Hello, sir.
You don't fall on the sky. But if you're aiming for the top of the tree, where do you fall? You fall back on the ground. And it's all inside 24 hours. There's no other thing. It's 24 hours. So it's what you do with that 24 hours that matters. So if you are thinking small, you will be achieving small in 24 hours. If you are thinking big, you achieve big in 24 hours. Visibly. And this is the strategy I always say before we go, because I know it's a question and answer time. Have your big goal in play. But obviously you can't from 0 go to the big. Nobody accelerates from 0 to 400. But you can put on some small things to accumulate to get to the big. That's how it's done. You understand me now? That's how it's done. Oh, the noise. Okay. That's how it's done. So you use your small things to achieve the big ones. You use your small things to achieve the big one. Use your small things to achieve the big one. And that's how you follow through it. So don't wait till most people be like, hey, I have big dreams. I want to be a pilot, but I can't go to school. Fine, we know you want to be a pilot, but you don't happen to go to school. Okay, how much do you need for the school? Maybe you need 12 million for the school. Okay, how do I get 12 million? Maybe you have to first of all go and learn barbing. Don't worry, you can be a pilot at 50. It doesn't matter. Your target, nobody is running a race of I have to be a pilot by 25. That's going to kill you. But if you say I want to be a pilot, fine. Then you go after it. You go after it. From your body, maybe you start and buy a small car or keke marwa like this one that passed. Then you give it to 2 people that want. Then you start building it. You build it. That's how to do it. You build it and then you get to become a pilot. Then you'll be happy that you have fulfilled what the destiny you think you need to fulfill. But if you don't do it like that, see, from time immemorial, like my parents, they would just be complaining. Nigeria is bad. Nigeria was good sometimes. There is no time Nigeria was good. Ask those people in 1960, they were still complaining. Some of them are complaining, some of them are rich. 1970, some are complaining, some are rich. 2000, some people are complaining, some people are rich. It's going to be like that till Jesus comes. There's no day the whole world will be happy and everybody. It's only in heaven that you have that. Funny enough, even in heaven there are levels. You have to think, oh, there are levels in heaven. You have people have 1 crown in heaven. Have people have 4 crowns, have 5 crowns. That's the difference. When somebody is wearing 1 and when somebody is wearing 7 or 9. So that means even in heaven there's going to be levels. So you have to work hard for it. Work hard for yourself. You can be the best version of yourself. You might not be the best on earth, but you know the line between rich and rich is very tiny. Everything you can afford, if I can afford it, even if you have 10 billion and my own is maybe 3 billion, you are not richer than me, because everything you can buy, I can buy.
The car is keyless.
So let's just walk along that line. Everything will be fine. And I pray for you that whatever you desire to have in luxury and everything, God will provide it for you.
Amen.
But you have to work it.
Okay, let's. You going? Thank you.
Is that like,
Thank you very much for that insight.
Yeah, like I enjoy the greeting now. You know?
All right, I'll see you.
Thank you very much. Oh.